So welcome everybody and to this particular time and space, the time and space you find yourself in right now, and a sense of welcoming to yourself. And collecting, gathering attention, a sense of being here. A sense of well-wishing that we feel towards ourselves. And a settling. This sense of the body, in the body, a sense of experience of this body in the mind. A sense of here and now, alive. This given gift of life received. Allowing all of it, the whole experience. This release. The knowing of this, known. The breath and the rhythm. And the balance of here and now. The balance of time and space. And collectedness, not shrunk, not just confined, but allowing it to be unlimited. unbound, untied, untied to past memories, regrets, or fond memories, unbound to future hopes and fears, released from worry and regret, the present experience, the breath and its rhythm, the balance of receiving experience and giving attention, not a pushing away or a grasping hold of, a complete experience of this limitation, this here and now. Released from the past, unbound from the future, the whole of this focus, this collected attention, given as experience is received. And sustained. The all of it, the all of it, the whole of it. The content, the space, the silence in the knowing. offered and received. Accepted and rejoiced in. And the joy of life. The gift of life to life received. In the freedom of here and now, unlimited awareness. Unburdened awareness. Memories, fond or regrets. Fond memories or regrets. Just known in this knowing. Future worries, hopes and fears. Unentangled, not grasped before, known in this knowing. No rejection, no rejection. Because it's all of life. That's given. And attention is offered, given. This gift of life. This precious gift of life. This precious freedom. Realized. Not knowing. And the spinning that happens with not knowing. The racing around to try to find some security. When there's not knowing, and that isn't understood, the mind races around, tries to find, asks people, well, what should I talk about today? I don't know what to talk about. And then this is a spinning, and then it sets other spinning tops going, because other people then have to think, well, what do I want to hear about? And so the spinning spreads. So this is the nature of not knowing the not knowing. And it's all right. So because the mind likes certainty, likes to be sure, likes to have it all figured out. And this is very untrustworthy. How often has our opinion or view, our ideas about things, how often have they been proved not so? And do we learn? Nope. We keep making the uncertain certain. We keep trying to find lasting happiness in things that are stressful and ultimately unsatisfactory. We keep trying to tell stories about me. Where I've been and where I'm going to and what I have to do now. And we keep believing in these. Keep assuming. And then we get confused more because we then feel, well, I shouldn't be doing this. This is another level of complication. Because what should I be doing? And can I do it or not? What should they be doing? And can they do it or not? This endless, aimless wandering without any beginning or end. Because that's how this thing works. It's part of the way that this thing works. It's part of the law that nobody made and nobody really even discovered, but people try to explain as a law, and it's just a way of talking. No, the law of how this physical universe works. We talk about the weather and how that works. We talk about gravity and how that works. We talk about the physical laws of the nature and chemistry and how that works. This is called utu niyama, one aspect of causality, utu niyama. And then we think, well, it must be in my genes. It must be in my hereditary. It must be my story of my parents, their parents, their parents' parents, their parents' parents' parents, 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 parents. The way of my tribe, my country, my nationality, my story. And, that shouldn't matter, it doesn't really matter, but it does. There are bits and pieces that all have to do with all of that. That is an aspect of nature. The way that trees are, the way that things grow, the way that genetics works. All of that. Bija niyama. That business of genetics and that. And then there's this bit that muddles it all up and we don't really have a handle on and we don't really know and don't really pay much attention to. And we don't. And yet, people say that some ways that it works. The ways that some insurance companies will reduce your life insurance if you can prove that people will pray for you. The actuaries find ways of doing that. So know how people feel when they know that the monks have chanted for them. The way that strange things can work that we don't have a lot of time for nowadays. I think it's all mumbo jumbo, or maybe we do somehow at some point maybe think that it might be work, but we don't really have very much experience about it. The power of that and the causality of that, chitta niyama, that allows this strange thing of walking through walls or flying through the air or stuff that we don't see very often nowadays or don't believe in very often, which of course means that we can't really figure it out. We exclude it from possibility. Called chitta niyama. And then there's the bit that, humans having the greatest capacity over this thing that we really, comes right here. This urge to do, to intend, to get something done, achieve, get rid of, make something of this. This is resolve, our intention. What we think about, obsess about, and we don't really understand why this happens, why this strange urge to do, to muddle up, to affect, which humans really, really get going. Humans are the karma creators. I really want this to happen. If only this will happen. I will do everything in my power to make this happen. Oh, I shouldn't have made that happen. I don't know why I made that happen. Why do I have this want to do this? Why do I not want to do this? What's happening here? This is all so jolly confusing. So I'll just try and do something else. This karma creation. Karma creation. It's the muddling bit. It's the muddling bit. It's the bit that works with all the others. It's how humans muddle with the physical, muddle with the genetic, muddle with the mind. It's the muddle-making business. And how it all works, the cause and effect of karma creation and effect, thinking about that, trying to figure it out. Why does this happen to me? What is it that made me be born in this family with this? Your head will explode. Sorry, think about it too much. It doesn't lead to peace that way, does it? There are theories about it, and you can figure out if you want. And this is how it's worked out for this little whirligig bit here. Now, this little bundle of tangled business entangling and entangled. Unentangle it. Unentangle it is the task. And it's not I unentangling it, it's just stopping entangling. That's why a lot of it's to do with stopping entangling. Stopping. A sense of inward attention, sense of knowing what is happening. A sense of being unentangled, practicing being unentangled. So the freedom of the here and now. It's not a trap, the here and now. It needs to be fully understood, fully received, life fully received, and the gift that it is. The fact that there are these strange things called parents, and this strange thing called ancestors, and this strange thing of the tribe or the nation, or the fact that there's this human being here now. This is absolutely stunning. You know, it's the result of all sorts of bits and pieces that we do not fully understand. But it's an incredible gift. What have I done to deserve this? A sense of gratitude for what we've got. No. This is a stunning opportunity, this present moment. And it's not going anywhere. No. As long as there's life, this can be learned from. This is the preciousness of life. This is its incredible preciousness. However it is, this is the opportunity. And the knowing of this, the attention turned inwards, so then the citta knows the citta. A strange feeling, because most of the time we don't bother with it. We ignore it because we're caught and trapped. Caught by the trap, caught by the past that we're dragging along. Trapped by our hopes and fears of the future. That are limiting. When we buy into them, there's this very strange sense, isn't it, when we actually do stop and give life to life, collected in the present moment. You know, experiencing the safety of this moment. Allowing, which is that we have this opportunity, that we can share this opportunity, that we can give others this opportunity, and give this opportunity, the opportunity of life to be alive. And this has been given here. All of this experience is just nature. And way that, there is this causality. This is the way the causality is. There is the physical, for convenience we talk about it. The physical, the business of the genetic and the way that seeds work, the way that the jitta affects the jitta, the way that karma works. And karma, the intentional action and the results from that intentional action. And, the sense of me and I is around this intentional action, and some of it is unconscious. We don't even know what karma we're making. And that's a scary bit. So, there's not knowing, and not knowing that we don't know. No. Not knowing that we don't know, not knowing that we're making unskillful karma. That's the trap of animals, because they can intend, and they don't know that they intend. And it's difficult to know that what's skillful and what's not skillful. Humans, if they have some confidence, and they start making the karma of the confidence that there is the results of good actions, skillful actions do have a good result. That is incredible karma, because that's the start of the path, isn't it? It's the start of samadhi. That's a practice. It's a practice that we can practice. It can be done. There are beings that have done it, that can teach. That we actually do have a debt to all those that have given us this opportunity, all the ancestors, all that have allowed all this to be here. Now we can get caught up in resentment, with a sort of teenage resentment of when we wake up and think, gosh, this world's a mess. And all these old people, they've just left it a mess for me to sort out. These dreadful boomers that have left the world in such a mess. It's the teenage, that left me to sort it out. Don't trust anybody over 30. It's called growing up, mate. That's what we do. We do. The world's this way. The world's a mess. This is how it is. It's all somebody else's fault. It's all somebody else's fault, really. Not my fault. My suffering. Yeah. Yeah. It's all somebody else's fault. My suffering. My mistakes aren't my fault. Don't worry about it. Get on with what one can do and know the heart. Know the heart. Now that what we can do is practice the Eightfold Path. Know the heart, knowing the heart. Practicing resting in this. Not dragging along the past or our ideas of the past. not catching and entangling ourselves in hopes and fears and regrets and worries and longings and memories, fond memories of how things were when things were so much better, when things will be so much better in the future. Just like this now. Yeah, if you want to know what your karma was, know where we are now. If you want to know what your karma will be, know what you're doing now. Now that's a summary. And practice the karma that leads to the end of karma, because that's the only practice worth practicing. Practice whatever you can of the Eightfold Path, in whatever way you can. Because it's practice, it's repeating, so that it becomes something that the energy of life can untangle and flow free from greed, free from need, free from blockages and feeling overwhelmed and pushed back and pushing back, free from hatred, and free from confusion, free from not understanding. This is going to be limited, it's going to be uncertain, and it's not personal. Really, the world does not care about you. Sorry. The world doesn't give up. It doesn't, because it's given everything. It's given you this present moment. It's already given life. And what you do with it, it also doesn't really care. Life will just, and the world will just keep turning. But you don't need to get entangled with it. And what you can offer is the opportunity for less entanglement, less stress. For this thing and for others. It's the best you can do. As best you can. Whatever possibility this moment offers. And this is what we've got now, these screens and recordings and complicated technology and separation and joining and what is this time and space anyway, because where is it and how is it created and all of that. This is what we've got. Do the best we can. In the sense of giving attention. And this, to really use this present limitation, a whole experience of what it is to be here and now. All of it. collected. Unentangling, not being fooled, not adding fuel on the fire, not grasping. They say, upadana, not fueling the fire, not pouring petrol on the fire. But resting in faith, in confidence that if one does the best one can, that's enough. And not being worried about, when we have that idea, I want something to happen in the future, I don't want this to happen. Boring. It's just tedious. It's just same old thing. You're just going to complicate the future and drag along the past. One breath at a time. Because that's what we've got. So I offer that for your consideration. I apologize if it's confusing, and if it is of help, then by all means, use what you can. Don't put it in your rucksack and have to carry it too far. Just keep letting go. Carries too much stuff. This is the moment. This is the here. This is the now. This is the knowing of the knowing. And keep at it. Beings wish you well. Enough, that there is this now is a incredible blessing. Beings wish you well. May all beings be well and happy, born and to be born. How many people have said that? How many times have you said that? And that's, if you allow that to also be something that's present. Beings wish you well, have wished you well, will wish you well, are wishing you well. It's like this, and it's the only way that it's ever going to be. Thank you for your attention, whenever and however you receive this. And if there are questions, then I'll do my best to make some more noises and see whether they're of any help. Thank you. When we choose not to speak about other people's wrongdoing, do we create bad karma too? It depends. It depends. Choose the right time and place, the right words, reflect upon one's own actions. If a child is running in front of a truck, then it's probably a good idea to grab them, even if it might hurt them, so that they don't get run over. So, if you can, then if you can stop somebody, then sometimes you just muddle things up, mess things up. It depends, and we need to be able to figure that we can learn about it. If somebody is, I don't suggest to people that if somebody's cheating them or somebody's slandering them, they don't actually go to the law and get the help from other people if the people are doing unskillful things. If somebody's murdering something, do shout, help, do try to stop them. No, it's not, it's not stupid to do that. Share information that can help people. Establish one's intention and do the best one can. Know why you're doing it. Know the how, the heart, and where the heart is coming from. That's the best one can do with other people's actions. Different types of samadhi. Complications. There are books about that. There's what you don't know about jhana and samadhi. It's the book that I've recommended again and again and again. And the references in that book are also good. So that's the thing. That's the thing. I tend to talk about continuity with samadhi, continuity and collectedness. And they've got vitaka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekagata, the 5 factors of collect. Vitaka is placing attention on something, vichara is examining it. Piti is the sort of interest and the excitement about it. Sukha is the fact that one's happy that one's doing it, it's happening. And ekagata is when the attention is collected around it. And so there's a sense of joy in what one's doing, so one's happy in what one's doing. Collected in what one's doing. And no, not to analyze it too much, but if you can read a book and get absorbed in a book, then you've got all those factors working. It's the mind that's undistracted, collected. Now the sustaining of that collectedness in knowing the heart knowing the heart, so that there's a sustainedness about samasati. Now that's what needs to be sustained. Samasati is what needs to be sustained. And you've got all the different ways of sustaining samasati. The whole of the Satipatthana Sutta is about what can be sustained. So that there's the attention that can be sustained, so that there's knowing of the internal, the external, and things just as they are. So the Satipatthana Sutta is the guidebook to what can be sustained. Where attention needs to be, if attention is sustained in these 4 areas, these fields will always keep one safe. So turning everything into the Satipatthana, then whatever's happening, then the Satipatthana leads only one way. It leads only to liberation. Sustaining attention in the Satipatthana is Sammasamadhi. There's vitaka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekagata. And they're sustaining that, so that then when it's sustained, then vitaka and vichara fall away. There's no longer, it's not a thinking process, it's just sustained. And keep going. And then it's just happy that the thing is happening. There's no more excitement about it, it's just like ease about it. And sustaining that through every minute, every second of every day, all the time, because there is only here and now, and this is where the attention is collected. This is the heart knowing the heart. And sustain that through the through the life. You want to sustain. Sama Samadhi I talk about. Sustained attention. So the absorption, if the absorption is the absorption is into this present moment. You do the exercises if you want to absorb into particular things and have nimittas and all that sort of stuff. That's the exercises. But actually, the sustaining of that, the strength is in this moment, in the Satipatthana. The body. So there's a sustaining of the attention with the body, the sustaining of the attention in the movement to and away from things, sustaining attention in Vedana, that basic movement towards or away at any of the sense doors. The sustaining of the attention at the citta, knowing how the citta is, and then the sustaining of the attention of knowing how the hindrances are, and how the fetters arise at each of the sense bases. Knowing how the bojjhangas work, knowing how the factors of enlightenment work, knowing how that works out, knowing how the whole of the path works, knowing and sustaining attention on this is dukkha, there is dukkha, it is to be known. There is a cause, it is to be abandoned. There is an end, it is to be realized. And there's a path that needs to be practiced. And then getting one's relationships right. And that's where the relationship is liberating. Don't whisper it. Don't whisper it. Practice it. During the different stages of your bhikkhu life, say the first 10 years and the first 20 years and now, do you think your mind states and views about life and the world have changed? I don't know what's going on. That hasn't changed, is it? That's the long and short of it. There's a lot of confusion. Do the best I can. Yeah. If I could figure out a different way of leading my life, I might do it, but I can't, so I'm stuck with this. It's not too bad. Thank you. I live in a palace. I'm well looked after. On the basic level, this is certainly good enough. So thank you. If there are no more questions, we can just let a moment pass and breathe.